Hello and welcome. My name's Amanda Lippert, and today we're going to get an inside look into the making of the film, The Lunchbox. The film is about a food delivery gone wrong and the friendship that ensues because of it. And today we have joining us remotely the director of the film, Ritesh Batra, as well as the lead actor, Irfan Khan, and the film's colorist, Jean Michel Petit, all the way from France. We'll get started with Ritesh and Irfan. Hey guys. So let's get started. Tell me what this film's about.
It's centered around the lunchbox delivery system of Bombay. Bombay's Dabbawalas are a community of 5,000 lunchbox deliverymen. They deliver hot meals from housewives at homes to their husbands in the offices. And in the afternoon, they take the empty lunchbox back. And they are incredibly efficient. Only 1 in a 6 million lunchboxes ever goes to the wrong address. And the movie is about that one lunchbox that connects a lonely housewife to an older man in sort of the dusk of his life, and a relationship begins between them through notes in the lunchbox. I was trying to make a documentary about the Dabbawalas, about the lunchbox delivery guys, and I spent some time with them. And in that process, I came across with the germ of this idea of a housewife who's trying to fix her marriage through her food. And then one day I thought, what if she ends up fixing someone else's life? And that's how it all came about.
It's a beautiful idea for a story. Irfan, how was it working with Ritesh?
I have worked with many first time directors, and I have all those films have been very successful films, like Warrior, or there was other films in India which I did. The first time directors, and first time directors, what happens with them, they bring a lot of lot of material which has accumulated for years and years, and it's a kind of the drive which a first time filmmaker has is a very unique drive. And I saw his short films before I committed to this film, and there's a kind of I could they resonated with me, his style of making, because he was trying to find, he was trying to be with the actors. He was not trying to uh, distract you with any other thing. He was just trying to be minimalistic, and there was a kind of poetry in that, although there was not too many shots. Even if it's a single shot, there was a poetry in it, and I could relate to it. And I knew, I'll have a great time as an actor with him, because he trusts actors.
Now, in Sundance's description of the movie, it lists that the film was made in multiple countries. What exactly does that mean?
Well, what it really means is that a little bit of money came from everywhere. And what that translates to is that a little bit of the work had to be done everywhere. So we shot the film in Bombay because there was no other way, no other place to shoot it. The story's there, the characters are there, and then I edited it in New York, and then I did the sound and the music. The composer was from Berlin, because there were some spend requirements with European money. You can only spend it there, and then we colored the film in Paris. But what that really did was that it really sort of empowered me to make the kind of film I wanted to make. Because for example, the sound design, and we thought this through before, uh, because we wanted there's very little score in the movie. The sound design is the score of the film, and in India we have a very specific way of filmmaking, where the background score is very important, and it's a big element in the storytelling. So the sound design is not important in an Indian film. Usually, a sound design in an Indian film is done in a matter of a week or two. So the detail orientation in terms of sound is not normal practice. But in Berlin, that's not the case. So I had a dedicated team for 2 months, uh, doing sound on my film, and we worked as hard on the sound as we did on the editing. And then the same with the color. We spent a lot of time on it. So we had sort of these luxuries with this way of working. We could take the best from each place, like sound in Berlin, and color in Paris, and then editing in New York was just sort of a matter of, the editor is American, and he has his family is there, and he's someone that I always wanted to work with. I've known him for years.
Why did you choose to work with an American editor?
Well, I met him at the Sundance Lab, John Lyons, and we'd been friends since, and we always wanted to work together. And we worked briefly together at the lab, and just stayed in touch since. And he was really there to serve the story. So it was not about an American editor as much as it was about working with John.
How important was color to the finishing of your film?
The color was very important even while shooting it and even finishing it, because the Indian films are so sort of in the way they are colored, they're so spectacular and so warm, and they sort of jump out at you. And we always wanted sort of the color palette for this film to be very subdued. And when we were coloring the film, we were really working hard on that. We were really working on, less is more. So actually, it was very funny. We were in Macau for the Asian Film Festival. There were these awards, and films from all across Asia were nominated, and they would show a clip, of every film this year. Like Father, Like Son, Snowpiercer, The Wong Kar-wai from The Grandmaster, but just a wide range of films, right from like huge films like The Grandmaster to really intimate stories like ours, Ilo, the film from Singapore. And I noticed how sort of our film looked so cold compared to everything else that was out there this year. But I felt like that was just the right way to tell the story. And the Indian audience didn't seem to mind,
No.
that the film looked cold, because because I felt like that was a way to just focus more on the characters and the story and not be distracted by anything, by the colors, by the music, by anything. So it was always about being sparse.
What camera format did you shoot in, and which cameras did you use?
We also had so many different formats we were working with, camera formats, because we shot most of the film on the Alexa, but then we covered the dabbawalas because there's no way to replicate that process. So we covered that documentary style, and we used three different kinds of cameras while we were doing that. The Canon 5D, I think the Sony F3, and the C300. So these three different digital cameras to match all these three and with the Alexa and have the colors, make it cold and subdued. It was a big, for this sort of scale of project, it was a big endeavor, and it took a lot of time.
Which finishing program did you use?
We used Scratch. It was really the colorist's choice and the lab's choice. We finished this film at the Aran lab outside of Paris in Clichy, and it was really their choice. But it served us well. I thought we spent a lot of time there, and our colorist was great, a French colorist.
You got to premiere your film at Cannes last year. How was that experience?
Actually, the film took its flight from Cannes. That's the first screening, and suddenly, after the first screening, the kind of response we started getting from the buyers, that doesn't usually happen. Now you get the response from critics and the audience, but not from the buyers. There were a few people who went up before the film ended, and Ritesh was a little concerned why they are getting up. Didn't they like the film? Then the French producer, he pointed it out. He said they are all buyers. They want to buy your film. And the next day, it was closed all over the world. So that was something very, very interesting. Indian film to resonate with the international audience. That's a kind of new beginning in Indian cinema. That's why it's a very significant film in Indian cinema.
How are audiences responding to it?
I think very positively. I get some messages every now and then from people that I don't know, and I mean, it's doing well for the people who bought it. So I'm really glad. Really glad it is.
Well, congratulations to both of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And now we have Jean Michel Petit, who's going to talk to us about his work as colorist on the Lunchbox. Hey, Jean Michel, let's just dive right into things. Tell us about how this movie was shot. What cameras did you use?
Oh yes, the Lunchbox has been shot with different camera. There was an F3, C305 there on the Arri Alexa. So the beginning of the film has been shot with the F3. So all the part outside with trend. There is some C300 inside the trend, but not too much. There's some 5D shot, but it's very short. It's only maybe 8 pictures because it was for the very fixed part. So there was a trend with a green screen behind. So it was only for the very fixed part. So it's very short. But all the film has been shot in with an Arri Alexa. So we can say that 19% of the film has been shot in with the Arri Alexa.
How did you decide on the overall look for the film?
Um, at the beginning, Ritesh Batra don't know exactly what he wants about look, but he know exactly what he don't want. He don't want a Bollywood film look. So he asked me to do something different. So it was very strange for me because before to begin this project, I've watched a lot of Bollywood films. So on trained me to do some saturation and contrast. And when you guys say, no, it's not what I want something different. So we have tried to find a look, different looks. So it's for this reason the film is not, there's not too much saturation, not too much brightness. In fact, the film takes place during the rain season in India. So he said me, during this season, there are not too much light, there are not too much colors, there are not too much brightness. So it's like a depressive morning. So remember you, all the thing, it look like depressive morning. So it's why it's the reason the film is blue. There is some blue and not too much saturation and not too much brightness. So it's very particular look. It was very strange for me at the beginning, but after some weeks I say, okay, we have the good look. We have found the trick to do a very good film and doing color grading film. So at the end, it's very particular. It's unique, I think, because it don't look like an American film. Not at all. It don't look like a French film or European film, or an Indian film. So it's very particular. I think it's a Ritesh look with the French touch. So we have done something particular. Now I'm very happy with what we have done.
What role did color play in telling the story? And how did the color cues change as the characters evolved?
So some people, when you watch a film, you see the different atmosphere. The film is very depressive morning with no color and a lot of blue. And in fact, the color grade follows the story of the film. So once the hero became with this life change, falling in love, he gains some color or some density. So the film became more beautiful and with color. And at the end, they are all together. The skin tone are very different, are very unique. So the film changed. We begin very depressive morning with no color. We finish with something with coloring and love in the picture. So there are movements on the film. So it was very important to follow the story with the color grading.
What were some of the challenges around achieving the vision of this look, either overall or in particular scenes?
The Lunchbox had been fully done on scratch. So the confirmation, color grade, and render. So I've color grade. I've done small color grade for the VFX. We sent in India to do the job. When they are back, we have reintegrated in scratch. There was no VFX directly done on scratch. But it was possible because Scratch is a very good tool to do this. But we have worked with India, so it was interesting for us and for the laboratory around Gulliver to work like this. So the first day it was not so easy because each country worked differently. But at the end, it was very good to work with another country like India and see how they work and what jobs it have done. So the film is very particular, I think. I don't know what I'm following the film. For a colorist, it's very particular to work on a film like Lunchbox because it's a small budget, but it's a big film. So we have tried to do something particular, something unique. With Ritesh, it was easy to work with Ritesh, but sometimes, like it's this first film, sometimes you don't know, and it was not sure at 100% it's good or not good. But it was during the first day. But after we have found something particular, the soul of the film with the color. And what we have done it was, we got it. So we finished the film easily after this.
Now, this movie was shot with multiple cameras. You had the Alexa, Canon 5D, C300, the Sony f100. What were some of the challenges of color grading and conforming so many cameras and formats?
So it wasn't hard to color grade because there wasn't mixed for different cameras in the same scene. So it wasn't two cameras in the same scene. So it was only a real Alexa, another part F3. So it was very easy. So when there isn't When there isn't mix of camera, it's the same thing. So maybe the large part or on the left, it's easy to do. So the film was not too hard to collaborate.
लंच कैसा लगा?
बहुत अच्छा था।
बस अच्छा ही था।
वो आलू गोभी बनाया था ना।
आंटी डब्बा किसी और को चला गया लगता है।
Play in front of this door again. I'll chase you down the street.
कल खाली डब्बा भेजने के लिए आपका शुक्रिया। आज भेज रही हूँ पनीर, मेरे हस्बैंड का फेवरेट, ईला।
क्या लिखा है पढ़?
Dear Ila, the food was very salty today.
क्या? ना थैंक यू ना नमस्ते। ये ले डाल दे।
हस्बैंड कल रात बहुत देर से आए, वो कुछ नहीं बोले।
Dear Ila, things are never as bad as they seem.
क्या बात है सर, आज तो बड़े खिल रहे हैं। और मेरी अम्मी हमेशा कहा करती थी कि कभी कभी गलत ट्रेन भी सही जगह पहुंचा देती है।
How would you describe the look that Ritesh was trying to achieve with this movie? And how did you use your tools to capture that look?
During all the film, I've tried to follow the DOP girl and the Ritesh girl, what they want in the film in color and brightness and with the light. So we need to do something different each time, but the big difficulty was each time that Ila she is around her window, and the window is very bright. So it has to do a lot of mask and a lot of care to reduce its brightness in this part, to focus on her, some mask on her, and work the skin tone. So, but like you see, she has not, the color of the skin tones is not too oranges, not a little yellow, but really Ritesh was afraid to have orange or red skin tone. So all of them say, no, it's not good, it's too orange. I say, okay. So I reduce with blue and desaturation, but to have something with color, but not too much. So it wasn't so easy. Yes. It wasn't easy this time because it has a lot of work, but we done it.
और जब डब्बा वापस आया, तो ऐसा लगा कि घर आकर आज वो मुझसे कुछ कहेंगे। कुछ घंटों के लिए सोचने लगी कि दिल का रास्ता वाकई पेट से होकर जाता है। उन घंटों के बदले आज भेज रही हूँ पनीर, मेरे हस्बैंड का फेवरेट, ईला।
In this part of the film, we are in the kitchen. She's cooking, so we try to have the skin tone, particularly not too much yellow, not too much orange, and we try to focus the light on the food. In fact, we try to have something very beautiful because the cooking part is very, 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 very beautiful. And after the film, you say, okay, I want Indian food now. It seems so cool, so good. So like you see, the skin tone, we have some color, but not too much. And all the focus has been done on the food and the end only. So there is mask to do this. So it's very beautiful because we have some care for the sausage inside to have something more with more color, with more orange. So all the work has been done to be say, okay, ooh, it's beautiful. She cooked like a queen.
आंटी ये थोड़ा अजीब नहीं है ये चिट्ठी विट्ठी?
इला थैंक यू तो बनता है ना।
तो ये राजीव को चला गया तो?
हाँ तो अच्छा है ना। कल राजू ने किसी और का खाना खाया और उसे पता भी नहीं चला। आज तो उसे पता चले।
और कुछ लिखूं क्या?
कोई जरूरत नहीं, शॉट ही रख।
So you see, the difficult part in this picture was, in fact, there was not too much light to do this. So outside we were very close to be very close to have too much brightness. So I've done some care on the left part to reduce the light, but to have something on this face. So it was a challenge each time to have something not too much bright and try to have something different.
कल खाली डब्बा भेजने के लिए आपका शुक्रिया। वैसे वो खाना मैंने अपने हस्बैंड के लिए बनाकर भेजा था।
This scene, it's the first time when you see, in fact, the letter in the lunchbox. But like you can see behind him, there's a lot of light. So we have tried to reduce the light on the window and to focus on him. So there is a mask around him. Not too much color. You see the picture, there are some blue inside. People behind him, the two guys disappear, are very black. And here are some color because at this moment with the sound, with some people, you don't know what is this letter. So it's very look around him. So it's a strange part. So like you see, there are not too much color. It's blue and totally yellow. But we can see in the film during all this part of the canteen, the picture becomes more bright and more color. This kiss don't change because he's falling in love. So the color change and the slide become more beautiful. So the picture becomes more beautiful too.
Life is very busy these days. There are too many people and everyone wants what the other has. Years ago, you could find a place to sit in the train every now and then, but these days it's difficult. If Mr. Deshpande wakes up now, he will see the difference and probably go back to his Orient ceiling fan. When my wife died, she got a horizontal burial plot. I tried to buy a burial plot for myself the other day, and what they offered me was a vertical one. I spent my whole life standing in trains and buses. Now I'll have to stand even when I'm dead.
In this part, the goal was to, he has been shot during the day, or it was normally during the evening when he takes this bus and train to go home. So it's not so easy we have reduced the light part, the gain on the light, to have something more darker with shadow. And this one was very difficult because like you can see now, it's very bright outside because there is a sunny day. So I need to use the catch, reduce the light, reduce the brightness of the picture. So all this part I've been done to have something different. You see, it looked like we are during the evening, but it wasn't at all. So in this picture we are working on the keystone to have something particular, but there are a lot of work to do just behind on this part here because it was too green. So we reduce it with magenta, we do some chaos, some mask on her, we follow her. So all this part, it's a big work. Like a lot of people we know, we're working with big film, it's a lot of a big part to do a lot of things. So it's not only primary job, it's a lot of secondary job with a lot of mask, a lot of care. So it's asked a lot of time to do, but it's a good thing. You know, In this one, she's reading a letter. So we are trying to focus on this part and not too much around. Now you can see behind her the windows. There are a lot of lights in the window. So we try to reduce the light and reduce all the part around her and focus on this end on the letter to see what is happening. I'm sorry, my English is not the best in the world. I know it has very good French accent, but it was cool to have this camera to try to do something for you. And then see you. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Thanks so much, Jean Michel. We really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today about the Lunchbox. And thanks so much to you for joining in. It was really fun to learn more about the making of this movie, and we're so glad that you could join us. We hope you have a great day.